Hey guys, Ed from Paranormal Inc. Ohio here, back at it again with another podcast. Tonight's podcast is about the different forms of Satanism. There is a lot, guys. I'm going to throw a handful in tonight's episode. That way you'll know all the forms and what that religion is all about. So I'm going to read some of my research that I found, and then we're going to have like a little talk afterwards. And then I hope you guys enjoy the episode. But before I say all that, you always know ParanormalIncOhio.com is where you can go to see the main page where you can see some ghost hunts, some ghost stories. You can also check out our crystal collection and know about all the powers that they hold. You can check out our sage bundles for everything cleansing. From there, you can go to Paranormal Inc. Ohio group. That is our group page on Facebook. There we talk about all things paranormal. And you can give me ideas about different shows, different ideas you want to do for lives. And I get this stuff together, do the research, and make the shows for you. From there, you can go to TikTok and YouTube, Paranormal Inc. Ohio. There you can see some old ghost hunts and ghost stories. And as always, you can catch the podcast on many, many podcast venues. We are on Anchor. We are on Stitcher. We are on Amazon Music. I don't know what just happened there. I lost audio for a second. So, Amazon Music, we're on Audible, we're on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Stitcher, I think I already said that, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Castbox, and Republic Radio. And as always, we're here on Anchor. So you can catch us all the episodes, previous episodes, new episodes on all those podcast venues. So, let's get started with the many forms of Satanism. Today, there are many branches of Satanism. In fact, modern Satanism is best considered an umbrella term for a wide variety of sets of beliefs and practices. The different belief systems reject Western moral laws, replacing them with a combination of a positive self-image and a decided lack of conformity. Satanic sects share three characteristics in common: an interest in magic, played out as psychodrama or mystical events, the creation of a community which defines the roles of membership as somewhere between people who share a mystical pursuit to those who live according to set of religious tenets, and a philosophy that thrives of non-conformity. So some of the satanic branches and left-handed paths are a little bit in depth. So Satanists themselves range from individuals who simply follow self-centered philosophy to organized groups with meeting houses and scheduled events. There are many Satanist groups, the best known of which is the Church of Satan and the Temple of Set. They embrace a low level of heretical leadership and a loosely agreed upon and widely varied set of religious practices and beliefs. Satanists say they follow left-handed paths, life ways, which, unlike Wicca and Christianity, are focused on self-determination and the power of self. Rather than submitting to a superior force, while many Satanists do believe in a supernatural being, they see their relationship with that being as more of a partnership than a mastery of a god over a subject. I'm going to list some styles of Satanist practices: reactive, theistic, and rationalistic Satanism. I can't even read my own writing, guys. Rationalistic Satanism. And afterwards, a sample of what are dozens of smaller sets which follow idiosyncrasy pathways to enlightenment. So the first one we're going to talk about, guys, is reactive Satanism. The term reactive Satanism, or adolescent Satanism, refers to groups of individuals who adopt the stories of mainstream religion but invert its value. Thus, Satan is still an evil god as defined in Christianity, but one to be worshipped rather than shunned and learned and feared. In the 1980s, adolescent gangs combined inverted Christianity with romantic, agnostic elements, inspired by black metal, rock music, and Christian scare propaganda, role-playing games, and horror imagery, and engaging in petty crime. In contrast, most modern rationalistic and esoteric Satanist groups are loosely organized with a set of moralities which explicitly focus on this world. Some may have a more transcendent spiritual dimension that might include the possibility of an afterlife. Such groups tend to be more exclusively naturalistic and all shun violence and criminal activities altogether. So we're going to go back into the rationalistic Satanism, and we're going to talk about the Church of Satan. So in the 1960s, a highly scrutinized, scholarized, and atheistic type of Satanism arose under the direction of American author and occultist Anton Szandor LaVey. LaVey created the Satanic Bible, which remains the most readily available text on the satanic religion. He also formed the Church of Satan, which is by far the most well-known and most public Satan organization. LaVeyan Satanism, or LaVeyism, is atheistic. According to LaVey, neither God nor Satan are actual beings. The only God in LaVeyan Satanism is the Satanist himself. Instead, Satan is a symbol representing the qualities embraced by Satanists, invoking the name of Satan and other infernal names. Is a practical tool in satanic ritual. Placing one's focus and will upon those qualities. In rationalistic Satanism, extreme human emotion must be channeled and controlled rather than suppressed and shamed. This Satanism believes that the 7 deadly sins should be considered actions, which lead to physical, mental, or emotional gratification. Satanism, as defined by LaVey, is a celebration of the self. It encourages people to seek their own truths, indulge in desires without fear of scrutiny or societal taboos, and perfect themselves within and out. So I did look up some stuff on Anton Szandor LaVey. I have seen the book of the Satanic Bible and the Satanic Rituals that he wrote, and I watched some old archive footage, and I read some stuff that Szandor LaVey has wrote and what he talked about. And pretty much my take in that was, it was like you worshiped yourself. So everything that you do for yourself, whatever feels good, whether it be drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever you would do to make yourself feel good, that is how you worshiped yourself. And therefore, you were worshiping Satan by worshiping yourself. He just took out Satan and added, just worshiping yourself. So they would have orgies, they would have all sorts of things. There was rumors that they would have sacrifices, and all sorts of things said was happening at the house Anton LaVey had and performed all these rituals in. So Anton LaVey, they say he was crazy, but he was he was really intelligent. So I think he just looked at things in a different way, and he really believed in what he wrote and what he talked about. So that's LaVeyanism. So now we're going to go to theistic or esoteric Satanism, now also known as the Temple of Set. In 1974, Michael Aquino, a member of the hierarchy of the Church of Satan, and Lilith Sinclair, a group leader, grotto master, from New Jersey, broke away from the Church of Satan on philosophical grounds and formed the splinter group Temple of Set. In the resulting theistic Satanism, practitioners recognize the existence of one or more supernatural beings. The major god, viewed as a father or older brother, is often called Satan. But some groups identify the leader as a version of the ancient Egyptian god Set. Set is a spiritual entity based on the ancient Egyptian notion of Zephyr, translated as self-improvement or self-creation. Regardless of the being or beings in charge, none of them assemble the Christian Satan. Instead, they are beings which have the same general qualities of Satan, and sexuality, pleasure, strength, and rebellion against Western morals are well known. So I think that the Temple of Set is more in tune with, again, pleasing themselves. So that's a couple we've talked about, and I looked into, I did the research, I looked up Temple of Set, I watched some old archive footage and everything, and it's pretty much, it's almost the same thing, but they just worship Set, which, is cipher, which is, self-improvement, self-indulgence. So they really go for everything that is pleasurable for the human body is not a sin. It's actually something great that they can do to enlighten themselves. So let's move from Temple of Set and let's go to Luciferians. Among the minor sets of Luciferianism, whose adherents see it as a separate branch of Satanism, which combines elements of rational and theistic forms, it is largely a theistic branch, although there are some who see Satan, called Lucifer, as symbolic rather than an actual being. Luciferians use the term Lucifer in its literal sense. The name means light bringer in Latin, rather than being a figure of challenge, rebellion, and sensuality. Lucifer is seen as a creature of enlightenment, the one who brings light out of the darkness. Practitioners embrace the seeking of knowledge, delving into the darkness of mystery, and coming out better for it. They stress the balance of light and dark, and that each depends upon the other. While Satanism reveals in physical existence and Christianity focuses more on spirituality, Luciferians see their religion as one that seeks a balance of both, that human existence is an intersection of the two. So this part of Satanism, Luciferianism, is basically, they're all about self-awareness as well and self-help, but they really believe the more that they know and the more that they do enlightens them and enlightens their soul. So again, this is another satanic group that doesn't worship Satan. Has nothing to do with the devil. They just use the devil as a symbol or an idea. So let's move on to anti-cosmic Satanism. Also known as chaos ghostism, the misanthropic Luciferian order and the Temple of the Black Light, the anti-cosmic Satanists believe that the cosmic order that was created by God is a fabrication, and behind that reality is an endless and formless chaos. Some of its practitioners, such as Zexler, 21B, and John Notveit of the black metal band Dissection, are nihilists who would prefer that the world to return to its normal state of chaos. So these guys are just basically, they worship chaos, anarchy. They believe that the world was once all nothing but absolute terror, chaos, anarchy. Everything was just insane. So these people believe that the chaos is where the enlightenment is. So again, they don't really worship Satan. They just use Satanism and Luciferianism as a keyword to their set. They really worship chaos. That's in my opinion, guys. So, I'm not saying that I'm 100% right, but that's just what I get out of it. So let's move on to transcendental Satanism. Transcendental Satanism is a sect created by Matt, the Lord Zane, an adult video director whose brand of Satanism came to him in a dream after taking the drug LSD. Transcendental Satanists seek a form of spiritual evolution, with the end goal of each individual a reunification with his or her inner satanic aspect. Adherents feel that the satanic aspect in life is a hidden part of the self that is separate from consciousness, and believers can find their way to that self by following an individually determined path. So I think that part of Satanism really is just all about, again, self-gratitude and trying to find your inner self to better yourself and raise yourself up higher. Again, I'm not 100% on any of these guys, so that's just my opinion on it. Now let's move to demonolitary. Demonolitary is basically the worship of demons, but some sects see each demon as a separate force or energy that can be used to aid in the practitioner's rituals or magic. The book entitled Modern Demonology by S. Connolly lists well over 200 demons from a multitude of different religions, ancient and modern. Adherents choose to worship demons that mirror their own attributes or ones with whom they share a connection. So these guys pretty much they actually worship demons. But again, it's almost like they're worshiping themselves because they find the demons that's just like them to worship, to try to help them with their magical ways. So we move on to Satanic Reds. The Satanic Reds view Satan as a dark force that has existed since the beginning of time. Its major prophet, Tani Janzang, I probably destroyed that name, I'm sorry guys, claims a pre-Sanskrit history of the cult and believes that individuals must follow their own chakras to find their inner force. That inner force exists in everyone and is trying to evolve according to each individual's environment. The Reds is an explicit reference to socialism. Many Satanic Reds oppose the rights of workers to throw off their chains. So I believe that one is a political, kind of a political based Rand one. Again, they're trying to do self-improvement, self-empowerment. And again, it just sounds like they're using Satan to catch, I don't know, fear. Because, they say they believe that Satan is all nothing but a terrible dark force. So they're using that as their willpower to just continue on their word. So let's move on to Christian-based duotheism and polytheistic Satanism. A minor set of theistic Satanism reported by Satanist Diane Vera is the Christian-based duotheism. Its practitioners accept that there is an ongoing war between the Christian God and Satan. But unlike Christians, they support Satan. Vera says the set is based on ancient Zoroastrian beliefs about an internal conflict between good and evil. Another offshoot of the theistic Satanism are polytheistic groups, such as the Church of Azazel, which revere Satan as one of the many gods. The Process Church of the Final Judgment is one of the last ones we're going to talk about, guys. Also known as the Process Church of the Final Judgment is a religious group established in London of the 1960s by two people who were ejected from the Church of Scientology. Together, Mary Ann McLean and Robert Day Grimston developed their own practices based on a pantheon of 4 gods known as the great gods of the universe. The 4 are Jehovah, Lucifer, Satan, and Christ. And none are evil. Instead, each exemplifies different patterns of human existence. Each member selects 1 or 2 of the 4 that is closest to their own personality. So again, guys, it's another self-empowerment, kind of like worshiping yourself. But they don't believe there's evil in Satan or Lucifer. They believe that Satan and Lucifer are like Jehovah and Christ. Everything is all one. So we have another one, guys, the Cult of Cthulhu. Based on the H.P. Lovecraft novels, the cults of Cthulhu are small groups which have arisen with the same name, but have radically different goals. I don't know if I can write good enough or not. Radically different goals. Some believe that the one fictional creature was real and will eventually usher in an era of chaos and uninhibited violence, wiping out humanity in the process. Others simply subscribe to the philosophy of Cthulhu, a philosophy of cosmic indifferentism, that the universe is a meaningless and mechanical system that is indifferent to the existence of human beings. Other members of the cult are not Satanists at all, but use the cult to celebrate Lovecraft's ingenuity. So that was just a few types of Satanism around the world. Just like the last one, the Cult of Cthulhu, they actually believe that this fictional story wrote by H.P. Lovecraft, that this entity, Cthulhu, is real and will rise once again to bring nothing but utter chaos. But again, it almost sounds like another self-improvement, kind of worship yourself type set of Satanism. So a lot of these satanic groups that, I looked up and the ones that I talked about today, it kind of sounds like they just use Satan as a symbol. They don't really worship Satan, but they use Satan as empowerment. They believe that Satan is good for them, and that if they do what they feel is good for them and what the pleasurable things are and life, that Satan, it will grant them powers. The one set of demons, that the one that worship nothing but demons. Again, it's kind of self-improvement because they're trying to find demons that are just like themselves. So again, I think most of these Satanist groups that we talked about tonight is all about self-improvement. And they use Satan as an idea or a symbol to empower themselves. Now, I believe that Satan is very real. And I believe that these sets are like this because Satan is the father of lies. The greatest triumph of Satan is that he made man believe that he's not real. He doesn't want us to believe that he's real, guys. He wants us to think he's a myth. That way your guard is down, you don't believe in anything. If you don't believe in Satan, then why believe in God? And then he gets you that way. So kind of a roundabout way, all these groups that are made, if you read it and look at it, now this is just my opinion, guys. They're worshiping themselves. They're not worshiping Satan at all. Unless behind closed doors, we don't know what they're doing. They could be doing sacrifices. They could be doing rituals. We don't know. And it's just not publicly known. But as far as I know, from all the research I've done, the articles I've read, the archived footage I watched, it's really just it's almost like self-lust. Like whatever is good for you and good for your body and whatever's pleasurable to you is what they worship, not the devil himself. But again, the devil wants us to believe that he's not real. So why not use him as a symbol, or believe that he's not real, but he's just an entity, or he's just as good as Christ and God? I mean, many people have different beliefs in different religions, and I'm not knocking on any religion. If you're a Satanist, good. You believe what you believe, and you do what you do. And I will not judge you any way, shape, or form, because that is your belief, and that is your right. So I'm not trashing or bad-mouthing these satanic orders. That's number one, because I don't judge this. My format on this podcast is a non-judgmental area. So I just don't want you guys to think that I'm bad-mouthing Satanism, because I'm not. Now, it intrigues me because people believe in a certain way, but they don't worship the devil himself as a entity or a god, or the Lord of Fire or the Lord of Hell. It's just rather they think of him as a self-help, self-empowerment type symbol. So that was tonight's episode, guys. Again, I'm sorry that I was fumbling words more than a drunk football player. I said it again, I said flare. More than a drunk football player on field. I evidently can't read my own writings. Maybe if I didn't have chicken scratches, I'd be able to read it better. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I really love doing these for you guys. I love all you guys to death. Just remember that tomorrow night we'll have another podcast episode. Wednesday night we'll have another podcast episode. Then Thursday night we'll be live at 10 p.m. on Facebook. We'll have a small discussion, a ghost story on there. Then Friday is going to be Fear Friday Live, where we have a big in-depth discussion about something paranormal, whether it be ghosts, whether it be demons, anything like that. So I hope to see you guys there. 10 p.m. Facebook. Thursday I'm live. 10 p.m. Facebook. Friday I'm live. And of course, you can always check out the podcast and the different episodes on all venues of podcasts. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great night and a good tomorrow. And you will hear from me tomorrow night, guys. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.